Yes, hello. Welcome to the Top 4 podcast. We are back once again, for arguably the best football podcast in the world. We had a little break, but we're all back. Myself, Friendy, Yoki, he's got the laugh, so we're going to move straight on. Nathan and Pash, all the boys together once again to talk about football. We all good, lads? I just want to check in.
All good, all good.
Mental health
lovely.
important. Are we all good? Yeah, everything all right at home?
Been lonely, like missed you all.
Yeah,
you boys got a couple of fresh haircuts. Well, Tez has.
Yeah.
Tez got a proper one. Only me.
To all the Spotify listeners, I am looking clean. But
only anyway. I would shave my head the week before they announced barbershops reopen because I thought it would be another 2 months or something. But hey, it is what it is.
That's all right. At least you've not been boasting about having inside information about stuff or anything like that.
Exactly.
And then still doing it. So it's all good. But yeah, so a couple of things we want to get into. A lot of football since we last talked. And we're going to take a little bit more of a focus at the other end of the table, the ugly end of the table, 20 to the bottom 6 to be precise. A little task that we thought of doing before the show was we all had to think of the player from the bottom 6 clubs that we would like for our team that we support. And I know what you're thinking. James, any of those players in the bottom 6 would play for Bolton. And I agree. So for that reason, my team is going to be Tottenham. Of course, Yoki and Pash are both going to have United, but they're going to pick one player each. And if they end up picking the same player, one of them's got to pick someone else. And then Nath is obviously going to be choosing a player that he thinks would best fit Liverpool. And just to clarify, this isn't necessarily the best player from the teams. This is the player that would fit, probably get into the start 11 or at least get into the 18-man squad from the bottom 6 due to his position and quality. So if you don't know and you're not a football fan, the bottom 6 are Sheffield, West Brom, Fulham. It's an American then. Fucking
Fulham.
Have you seen on the goal?
Goal, yeah. Remember my game against Fulham?
You watched my game against Fulham, man.
Really split all over my screen.
And for Fulham, Brighton, Burnley, and Newcastle. That's the bottom 6. So one player from each. Who wants to go first? I feel like let's go. Yoki first, and then we'll go. Pasha can go at 4th because we want to split up the United talk.
All right. In advance, sorry if I pick the player that you had in mind, Pash, but it's got to be Tariq Lamptey for me. The Brighton right back. It's got to be. I think mainly we needed right back anyway in terms of what we need as a Man United fan. But all the competition that we've got. We've got 3 left backs, but 1 right back. So if Wan-Bissaka gets injured or the worst can happen, then we got no one really to slot in straight away. Someone will be playing out of position, or we bring someone up from the younger squad. So I think Tariq Lamptey will definitely be good competition for Wan-Bissaka. You play all the cup games kind of like Telles does now. And we know then if for some reason Wan-Bissaka gets injured, we got, pretty good experience right back, and he's been doing bits this season as soon as he has been playing. I know he's had some injuries though, right, this season?
He's out
he didn't do it again, no.
Yeah.
So he's been quite unfortunate. And he had a red card. I remember a game where he got a red card as well. So
I think he was unlucky to get that, wasn't
he? Yeah, I think so.
Did that get overturned?
I don't think that one did.
Like Pash said, it was definitely controversial.
Yeah.
I
felt bad for a young player as well. I think he'd be, honestly, I think he's better than Wan-Bissaka. I think he'd be better than Wan-Bissaka if he got a run of games. I think Wan-Bissaka is one of the best defensively, but I think Tariq Lamptey can be streets ahead of him going forward.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka looks a bit lost when he goes forward, like he's on ice skates or something.
I think he can really be a good option if we wanted to play differently, because like I said, Wan-Bissaka, he tries to go forward and bless his heart, I know he puts real good effort into it, but he just can't do it. He's awful. He
used to be a winger as well, which is really weird. But yeah, he doesn't know which way he's going. He trips over his own legs and that as well.
Yeah, he's just a different kind of right back, which I think will bring good variety as well as competition. I see nothing but positives bringing in someone like Tariq Lamptey. So yeah, out of those 6 teams, I think he's number 1 spot for sure.
He's more of a right wing back, and Wan-Bissaka is definitely more of a traditional right back, isn't he?
Yeah,
in terms of like their skills and what they are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think you make that comparison with most fullbacks in the league, in terms of comparing to Wan-Bissaka. It's always the same because I think he is the best one-on-one right back in the world defensively, like with his tackling. But yeah, man, going forward, he's just crap. What are you laughing at, Tez?
Would
You
you
laugh at me?
So I was trying to get in there, but I think, I think defensively he's obviously one of the best, if not one of the best right back in the league defensively. But I just find it amazing. What I was smiling because I thought Nath done his head, and I thought he was doing that at the moment you said. That's why I was smiling. But for me, I feel like Wan-Bissaka gets a lot of stick. It shows how the game has changed so much that Wan-Bissaka is so good defensively, but yet he just gets, rather than, I mean, he does get praised, but rather than being like, oh my God, how amazing is he in right back and Luke Shaw's obviously playing amazing. I almost feel like Luke Shaw playing so well this season has played just as well, but with his attacking threat, it's sort of made people look down on Wan-Bissaka because he doesn't attack.
He's gone a bit off form. Like if you watch United week in, week out, I don't know. I think it's the lack of competition. You've seen Luke Shaw just absolutely up his game. We've gone into Roberto Carlos because Telles has come in, and I think Wan-Bissaka is too comfy at the moment. He just does a lot of like misplaced passes. He can still do like the last ditch tackles and that, but compared to last season, he's fallen off hugely, I think. Would you take him in England squad for Euros, or do you think the competition is too hard? Yeah.
Him and Trent, wouldn't they, competing for the spot?
Well, you got Reece James as well.
I was going to say Reece James would be.
But this is the issue. I think. I don't know. It's tough. I think you can't really take 3 right backs to the. So I think it's difficult. I mean, personally, I feel like Trent's going. You know what I mean? There's no doubt. Despite, he's going. Even though I think he needs to move more forward now, and I don't know if for England the right back is the best position for him. He's going. I don't think he'll go to the Euros. I don't think the only thing that might help him is, and this could obviously go against him because I know he's had injuries as well. It's injuries. I think he's third. Do you know what I mean? Like I think you can't take 3 right backs to the Euros. So Wan-Bissaka is definitely the third choice, based off his attacking threat that is non-existent. Even though part of me thinks you should bring an attacking right back and then one that's more defensive. If you want to see off a game in the quarters, if we get that far or something like that. But the way the game is and the way that Trent and Reece James both have had injuries, one of them might drop out and then you're like stuck with Wan-Bissaka starting potentially. So I think that Trent and Reece James will go. But if there are any injuries, then Wan-Bissaka is definitely going to be going. And then to do with this, like we've gone on to talk about Wan-Bissaka, but like how Lamptey gets into that slot in the future is a tough one.
I think he'll have to play for a bigger club. We've seen it time after time with England. They only usually pick players that play for the big top 6. There might be some players that are just completely outperforming other players, but because they play for a lesser team, they won't get looked at.
I agree.
I think Lamptey will have, if he is to make England squad in the future, he will have to make a move, and I think he will. I think over the next couple of years, I can see him going to Arsenal or somewhere like that. I think that I don't know why.
He was at Arsenal, wasn't he, Tariq Lamptey?
Was he when he was younger in the youth?
I think he got dropped by top 16. I'm pretty sure it's Arsenal. The thing is with Wan-Bissaka, I think he knows that he's not going to get the call to England because I've seen in the press recently he's come out and said if he doesn't get a call up this year, he's going to represent the Democratic Republic of Congo, which he used to do when he was younger, like when he was up and coming. So I think deep down he's probably seeing the competition. He probably knows deep down because like you said, Trent's already, despite the poor season he's had, he's already got a name for himself, and he's just slap bang in that team anyway. And yeah, someone like Reece James.
They got loads of right backs, haven't they?
But Reece James is top draw as well. Like he is a top player,
definitely, and he offers the threat from the free kicks as well. He's a top. He's
got a worldly
player.
goal in him every now and then as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he scores some absolute screamers. To be fair to him.
So we're trying to stick to the bottom 6, but we end up talking about England and Man United, which is fine. Talking about England is fine by me. It's a nice breath of fresh air. But Nath, who've you picked out of the bottom 6 teams who would best fit into the Liverpool squad right now?
Looking at defenders, and I don't know. obviously with the injuries that they have had, and we've replaced a few defenders and something getting in the team at the moment. Maybe getting another defender in might be a little bit nice, just as a bit of a backup. So get someone quite young, someone who has played a few games, get a few clean sheets this season. I was looking again at another Brighton player, Ben White. He's had 8 clean sheets this season. He's not bad. He's only 23 years old. I think, like I said, I don't think he'd be getting into the team every week, but especially when there's issues, injuries, things like that. I think playing with a team like Liverpool, he can come along quite far, become like a really good defender. Again, he's another English player. Maybe one day carries on the way he's going. He's still young, so
he was quality for Leeds in the Championship to get promoted.
There controversy over that, wasn't there? Well, didn't he want to go Leeds like really badly?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there, but I think and one of my mates who work with Leeds fans saying that they were 90% sure that he would end up a full-time Leeds player, but never happened. So I'm not too sure on the details, though. Just to correct myself, Tariq Lamptey was a Chelsea player, not an Arsenal player. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I knew that. I didn't hear you say that.
I don't know, but then again,
it's interesting. I wasn't expecting you to name that player. So
yeah, I was thinking in my head more defensive. I think if I had like a second choice, just as a player, as a bit of a backup, Callum Wilson's decent from Newcastle. Someone quite low down, good attacking player, but he is quite injury prone. I mean, he's got a pretty good record for him as well. I think it's like 50 odd goals and like 140 odd games, that's not bad at all. Do you mean for a team like Newcastle? I think that's a pretty good attacker. But he's 29 years old. He wouldn't get so much of a game, so folk go for like more defensive player. Someone who might have a bit of a chance, especially in the current situation that we're in.
Always going to be a defender, wasn't it, for Liverpool? But just with the state you guys are in.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but fingers crossed. Things are looking a bit better now. With Nat Phillips and Kabak, they had a decent game of the day. But like I said, it's all about the bottom 6.
Yes,
this week. So we're not going to go any further.
I think that's a good pick, Ben White. I think
it's all right. I mean, I'm not sure how old he is, but I'm sure he's quite young. So
23.
Yeah. So, the chance to, I think any young defender who go to Liverpool would learn a lot. We're under Van Dijk once he's on the training ground. So, yeah, good shout. We've gone for 2 defenders so far, and I'd love to say that I'm going to break the mold with go for an attacking player, but I'm not. So for Tottenham, I think I've gone for Nick Pope.
Oh, nice.
Because I think that
really good show.
Lloris.
I love how you pick it to play for Tottenham first.
I know.
I think. Well, I mean,
he's a massive Tottenham fan, though.
You should say the player I'm picking for Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, I mean, Mourinho. He texted me, Jose, just before this, and was like, "I don't want Jolinto, but I'll take Nick Pope." Yeah, I mean, Lloris, I done amazing things in his career, but I feel like he is definitely on that way down now. And it's always awkward getting rid of a player that's been at a club for so long and been such a big part of it. And obviously he's turned down bigger clubs, or apparently has, and he stayed there. But, in a similar situation to what I think they might be in when United might be in with De Gea in maybe 1 or 2 seasons, or even in the summer. Summer's probably a bit too early, but in 1 or 2 years. Lloris now, it's I've been disappointed by Tottenham, just because I like Mourinho. I've just been disappointed by how they played, but they have scored a lot of goals. They've had negative games, but they've scored. I think they might not have been the first in the league, but they hit 100 goals very quickly for the season. And I think the problem is their individual errors in defense and goalkeeper has been. If they had that, I think they would be easily top 4 if they had an extra defender and a better goalkeeper at the moment. So, yeah, Nick Pope.
How old is Pope? Is he kicking on at the moment?
I think he's 28, I want to say. So he's young for a keeper. Do you know what I mean? But I think he should be England number 1.
I agree with that. Yeah,
but I don't think he will be. I just don't.
No.
I think Southgate
with Pickford. They're too stuck with Pickford.
We needed. As an English fan, we needed Ancelotti to come in and just sack Pickford off, and that would have made Southgate have to make it. But he's sort of and ahed and that. So So yeah, Nick Pope definitely would have been in, and
yeah, that's a good shout.
I don't really. I was really stuck with someone else, but I don't want to say just in case
Yeah, I got
Pash just said.
I got a shout out.
So maybe after Pash has gone, we could just very quickly just say the people we were thinking of going.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, no, I was gonna say with like Nick Pope quickly before you go off it. But
Yeah.
He was up there as well for me. I thought, but when you got to keep like Allison in the team, you know, you couldn't have a Nick Pope in that team. I mean, he needs to be a first team player. It's like you can so that's why I kind of didn't go ahead with him in Liverpool. But he's a really good shout.
Lloris has been. I think he had a bad shoulder injury about 2 years ago, or in the last couple of years.
He broke his arm, didn't he?
Yeah, he hasn't been the same since. And I think the only thing is keeping him there, and that he is on the decline, but because he's a World Cup winner, so he's always got that to back him up, isn't he?
I know, but would he like the thing with he could probably go to a European club and play like Champions League or Europa League. I feel like, do you know what I mean? He could go to a French Lyon. Do you know what, something like that? He could still probably do a job for them. And he could probably still do a job for Tottenham if Tottenham want to just hang around 8th, 7th, 6th place. But I think if they want to go to the higher, they got to replace him. And I think Joe Hart's happy sitting on the bench, so they're going to have to get rid of Lloris and put in Nick Pope. But yeah, so Paish.
Paish. As I was just looking at that, I don't know where the eye is going.
Pashy, like.
Who
have you picked for United?
So for United, I think we need a right back. Obviously, Jack's covered that. Lamptey was one of my first thoughts. I think he's looking at the bottom 6 teams. Brighton seems to have the best squad, like a lot of young, good players.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like United need
Lallana,
a CDM.
well back.
I feel like United need a CDM and a right winger. But I've gone with, and I might butcher his first name here, Yves Bissouma. Well, I don't know if it's Ives
quality player.
That's my second pick.
He's about 24. He's an absolute powerhouse. He can play CDM box to box, but he's just a beast. I think Arsenal and United have been linked to him, and I think he could be a steal. Whereas a lot of clubs are looking at Rice, which is probably going to cost him like 80 mil. You can probably pick him up for about 30 mil.
30, yeah.
And he just looks like a tank. I think he came from Lille about 2 years ago to Brighton. And I think he can do anything. He can take what United need is to get the ball from the back to the front. With Fred and McTominay, they just can't link up the forwards or Bruno. And I think with him, he'll actually receive the ball, be able to drive up the pitch and then link the other players in.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need.
Yeah, great shout.
It's the type of business that United won't do. It's smart business and they won't do that. They'll rather, and I like Rice, but they'd rather spunk a load of money on Rice or an English player, to be honest.
Yeah, he'll be a lot. I mean, Rice is probably going to be what, 70 mil?
Yeah,
probably to get.
I think they want more, don't they?
If we did get Rice, we could, take maybe 30, 25 mil off and leave him with Lingard.
Yeah, he's doing bits for them, so I don't see why they wouldn't.
But then you could just, but then you could probably sell Lingard and then just use all that money to buy Basama.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce
Basuma.
I don't know his first name. Yves.
Yves.
Yeah,
Basuma.
Yves. Like Yves Saint Laurent.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call him Yves.
He's from West Africa. Is it Mali?
Mali.
Yeah. He looks class.
Yeah, funny enough, that's my second choice as well. It's Lamptey, then Basuma for sure.
Oh, really?
Both of them are quality.
So I was the only one to go for a non-Brighton player. Interesting.
Yeah.
They got some good players.
I was thinking Callum Wilson. I was like, nah. And then I was thinking St. Maximin, but he's been injured all this season.
I got another shout out, which is another defender, but Ajayi, West Brom. I think he's a great player.
Yes. Yeah.
He's probably in terms of attacking options from.
Where's he fitting at United though?
Back and you said
not
defender.
Necessarily for United, but he's got the most potential. I know
McGoldrick take over Martial's place, no problem.
Yeah, walk in, son.
No
walk
problem,
into a starting 11.
No problem.
I mean, if for any reason Bailly obviously goes or is too injured to even play football, I think Ajayi would be a good replacement for him. So a rotation player, backup for Lindelof and Maguire. I just really like the way Ajayi plays. Obviously, he's really threatening the box. He's got a couple of goals. He's probably better at headering the ball than Maguire to start with. So I think he's another great player down in that bottom relegation zone.
I had Ben Mee down as well. I thought Pash might have picked him, but I think, look, Tottenham just need defenders in. very similar to Spurs.
He is good as well.
And I think he's a really good. I also think he's really underrated. A good player. And then I had, in terms of attacking players, I had Wilson as a backup striker, but that's if they get rid of Vinicius, who I actually think is really good as a backup striker, but he's not really been given a chance. And then Lukeman, but I was going to say Lukeman, and then I remembered that he's on loan. So thankfully I didn't say him.
Yeah, there's a couple of good players down there. Thinking of Spurs defenders, I was really happy that I was kind of happy and gutted that they signed Joe Rodon from Swans, but I really feel like he's had to have too much on his plate for his first season as a Premier League player in a team like Spurs. I mean, I don't know what everyone else thinks of that signing. I mean, it kind of came as a bit of a surprise.
He is.
He's Welsh. Squad,
he's from Swansea. You said he went to some sort of school near you or your school or something like that. But you're saying about that about the pressure. Do you mean it's loads of players who've just been chucked in the mix this season, and have performed well. So it's when you say if you like. You get paid to play. Do you mean you've got to accept that pressure sometimes?
Not taking the chances, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, like go back. I don't want to go back. Like I said, you want to speak about the teams again, but like people like Nat Phillips. Do you mean he's come in? He started performing really well. I don't think he's put a foot wrong, and I don't know why we haven't been using him more. But it's good to see his potential now. Do you mean but if a player like Joe Rodon, then he should really be taking this opportunity to show what he got.
Yeah.
Smash it, if anything, getting that team full time.
It's a massive platform now playing for Spurs, and obviously chance at the Euros to do bits of the Euros as well in the summer. I mean, it's a hell of a year for him, to be fair.
Yeah, I want him to do well. Do you mean we need the players for Wales? Do you mean?
But yeah, Spurs definitely need to build out that defense a bit more.
I think that's all they're missing from Spurs, to be honest.
Jose Mourinho.
I think he's gonna Jose. I don't think unless they lose loads more games, he'll be there he'll be there next season. Jose.
I know he's definitely good, but they can't afford a second.
I know, and I think he's gonna sort of defense out, and then we'll make predictions for next season. I think they'll go
for Skriniar. I think he's been long term Jose Mourinho target for ages since he's been at United and that.
Is that who was talked about going to United?
Yeah,
he's been linked to United for a while.
I'm pretty sure 90% of the players in Europe have been linked to United now.
Oh
yeah. That's what drives their price up now. To United, drives up the price for them.
Sorry, we get Haaland in the summer. Don't worry about that.
Fuck off, will you?
Okay, so I think we were also going to do a new segment this week. Yoki, do you want to take it away, introduce the segment, and get it off the road?
Yeah, sure. So, top 4 podcasts, Prat of the week. Could be anything football related, player, fan, manager, anyone.
Oh, presenter on this podcast.
Presenter on this podcast, yeah, pundit, anyone. So it's just where we highlight a Prat in the footballing world that deserves a shout out for their actions. So yeah, first week of Prat of the week. We're going to take a turn, so I'm going to go this week, and then for example, Nick will go next week, and we'll rotate it that way. But I think the way we can do it is we can give a shout out first, and then we go for actual Prat of the week. So technically 2 Prats of the week, but someone who's really close. Give them a 2
little 2 Prats for the price of 1.
Love it. Exactly. So my first shout out goes to Eric Lamela in the North London derby, scoring a worldie and then getting sent off. Brilliant, classic Eric Lamela. Worldie of a goal though, by the way.
Yeah, really nice goal.
He's had a couple of Rabonas now, hasn't he?
He's just
he scored an amazing one in the Europa League.
How long ago was that?
I still, Europa Lamela's got so much potential. He's the long-term replacement for Gareth Bale, definitely.
He's just a shit.
It's just mad how long he's been there. Like they bought him to replace Bale, and how everything is.
And now Bale's back.
You know what I mean? Bale's back.
He can't replace him still.
Lamela's still hanging around, not a starter. It's just, I just don't. Yeah, it's just a weird player. One of those players. If we do a segment, we could do top 10 weirdest players that are still.
Yeah,
in the Premier
I've
League.
always classed him as a Prat, and he was a Prat on the weekend, scoring the worldie and getting sent off in the same game. 2 yellow cards in 6 minutes. Fair play to the kid.
It's good effort, that is.
So the Prat of the week goes to a gentleman called Andy Delort. Now, Andy Delort is a player for Montpellier in the French league, right? And they played a derby with I don't know how to pronounce it, Nimes, Nimes.
Yeah, something like that.
Now, Neems, I'm going to say Neems. Sorry if I butcher it. But the symbol for Neems is a crocodile. So Andy Delort played the game. He scored a goal. And then he proceeded to go up to the cameras and eat a gummy crocodile. So a sweet in the shape of a crocodile as if he's eating their team, right?
That's class.
That's a bit more sexual than anything.
It's absolutely fantastic, right? Everyone's celebrating, having a laugh until the goal was then cancelled by VAR. And then 4 minutes later, he scored an own goal.
No. Have we got a clip of this at all?
No, I tried to find it.
No, we can drop the clip. We can drop the clip.
Yeah, I'll drop it in the edit.
Yeah, I want to see it after because I haven't seen that.
Because if you threw up the crocodile afterwards, after the own goal.
Yeah.
Mate, speaking of celebrations, that happened over the weekend. Newport County.
Yeah.
I can't think his name now off the top of my head.
That.
Mate, literally, he scored a goal against Morecambe. He's like 42 years old. He's been like,
whoa.
Morecambe.
Morecambe, is that how you say it?
Morecambe.
That's a fucker, yeah.
Right, Fulham, look.
Fulham, actually.
Fulham against Morecambe.
Cheers, Nate. Always backing me up.
Oh, there's my 2 Prat of the weeks for next week, boys.
Mate, I have a shit with like pronunciations of any fucking, even if it's English.
None of us can read, I don't think.
No, basically. It has got E on the end. I should really understand that it's like Morecambe instead. But no,
so what was his
Morecambe.
celebration?
Mate, he literally ran over, like basically, he used to play for Morecambe for quite a few years, and he's 42 years old now. The manager basically just shut him out from the team, got rid of him. He was apparently
made him train on his own and shit.
Made him train on his own, but then he got released by the club, and he was about to start the factory. And then apparently, like the Newport County manager heard about all this and said, "Oh, do you want to come play for us instead?" Like he went to start for a factory about 2 weeks before, or something like that. And anyway, he started obviously playing with Newport and was playing the game the other day, scored against his old team, run up to the manager who forced him out and screamed in his face. I can't remember what he said now.
He said something like, "Have that, you can."
Have that, you can. Yeah, something like that. Brilliant. Bit of karma.
But I don't think we can all agree, Andy Delort, the first Prat of the week.
I like that.
I think that so much thought into the celebration, did it, rendered useless in a matter of seconds.
I didn't see this.
Tony Cruz.
Yeah,
Tony Cruz will be fuming about that celebration.
Would he?
Yeah, Tony Cruz does not like celebrations at all. I didn't think I had to clarify that. No, he's made it publicly known.
Yeah.
No, Tony Cruz just fucking. He's come up before and said that he absolutely despises any celebrations.
He doesn't celebrate on his own.
That's it. Yeah, he doesn't fucking.
Jeremy scored that worldie. He was in the World Cup, the free kick.
Yeah, and then
he didn't celebrate after that either, did he?
And then next week, Nath, you can do the Prat of the week next week.
Well, just like that, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
And
well, hopefully something fun will happen.
But also, if you think there's someone else that we should make Prat of the week, then let us know in the comments or via social media. If you see a video, you see Lad Bible post something funny, and you think that's the Prat of the week, got to be football related. Let us know. I think we're going to finish up on our last topic. We can't not talk about it. We had another sacking in the I think it's a sacking or
mutual agreement.
No, I think he left.
Another managerial change. I think one that caught me off guard. Obviously, Chris Wilder is no longer Sheffield United manager. I'll start off. I was very surprised. I thought that if he was going to get sacked, it would have been 4 months ago, maybe. Do you know what I mean? It would have been a long time ago.
Such a weird time to do it.
Yeah, a lot going on, which we might not be able to all talk. We can dissect a little bit. But yeah, obviously they're bottom. They're going down. They have been for a while, so not a lot of time. Paul Heckingbottom, former Leeds United manager, in temporary charge, and I think the biggest thing that the reasons that I read was that dispute with the board over transfers for next season. They want to bring in a new football director, and Wilder was more old-fashioned and was like, no chance. And then that's why he's gone.
Because he didn't like it that the power was in someone else's hands to choose the transfer.
Basically, I think the Brewster signing has been quoted as being a huge factor in the fact that they don't trust him with the money anymore. So they're going to get someone else in to be in charge of that, and he's more in charge, more of a head coach role rather than a football manager. and that's been causing issues for a few weeks now, and it's sort of boiled over.
I think that makes sense from the club's perspective, though. I mean, Ryan Bruce is not a great signing.
No,
at
but
all.
No. Yeah, potential, didn't it?
I feel like 20 million though. I don't know. It's hindsight's. You know, we I feel at the time I thought that was at the time if Sheffield United have only got 25 million to spend, they shouldn't spend it all on Brewster. But in itself, I feel like at the time he was doing well for Swansea, and he's such a young English player. Like if he banged 10 goals at this point, everyone would be saying how good a signing and a bargain that was. You know?
Yeah, true.
So, you know, it's
Swansea,
and he's probably gonna do well at some point now. He's just not probably a striker you can rely on to stay up.
Yeah, he said to be fair, even the attitude, like he sort of sat on the bench in one game. He just looks like he just don't care. Not a care in the world, just sat there chilling.
It looks like he hasn't really got the attitude that he needs at this point in time.
It's mad. It's mad that he had a lot of. I don't want to just talk about Brewster the whole time, but he had a lot. Apparently, he had a lot of clubs after him.
Yeah,
out of all the clubs he had apparently after him, Sheffield seemed like one of the stranger options. I don't know if he thought because they were so high up last season it wasn't going to be a problem, but
not that far away from Liverpool as well.
Well, he's linked to is it Celtic Club now, or he's been linked heavily to that?
Yes, he's linked.
A few candidates.
Roy Keane, Chris Wilder,
Roy Keane,
Steve Pratt,
Michael Richards, assistant coach.
But with Sheffield, the reason why I feel like it's a bit harsh from Sheffield is I remember when Yeovil were in League One, Sheffield United were in League One. Yeovil went up that season. Sheffield United is struggling in League One, got Chris Morgan in charge of them and like just not doing anything. And then Wilder gets them up back to back.
First season, wasn't it?
In the first season, well, first 2 seasons, first 2 seasons gets them up from League One to then Championship to Premier League, and then gets them 7th. Like that's just, he's almost like
it was 9th,
his success has now gone against him.
That's why I feel like it's
phenomenal.
probably mainly his decision. I think he's got to a point now where he's like, I've done my bit. You know, I peaked. I'm not going to do any better for the club. Even if we get relegated, maybe he feels in himself that it's just his time's up with the club. So, I mean, it might be the fact that, you know, because obviously in that season when they finished 7th, that's one position off European football. And considering that they, 3 seasons before that they were in League One, that's mental. So, I mean, to even think that he achieved
they were
that.
playing as well.
Yeah, great football last season. They were quality to watch. They had players that did really well. From like John Lundstrom was a key player from last season. He hasn't really done much this season. I think, unfortunately, it is coming down to individual performances this season. Ollie McBurney, again, another Swans player who was class at Swansea. I loved him at Swans. Hasn't really done as much as you'd hope a player like Ollie McBurney to do. I know he's been injured again, but when you got those striking options and you're not, all you're doing is conceding. Maybe he's just looked at the situation and thought, I think someone else can do a better job here. So he's bowing out. So I honestly think it's come more from him. I think it'd be very unfair on the club if they had forced him out after what he's done at this point in the season, because it's such an awkward time. They
can't save themselves, can they?
No, exactly. They're going down anyway. Why not prepare? If Wilder was 100% up to the job, you'd say, right, what are we going to do next season to come straight back up and get back to where we were last season?
If anyone could do it, it's him. If anyone could do it, it's him, 100%.
But so I think it'd be very unfair on the club to, like you said, throw all that success away because he's done absolute bits for him. So I honestly think that the mutual consent is true, and whatever played a part in it, I don't think Chris Wilder's head is in Sheffield as much as it was at one point at all.
Obviously, hotly tipped whilst after the first season. I still think he's held in high regard, but not as high, obviously. So, I mean, where do we likely see him going next? I mean, you don't need to name a specific club, but league level. I mean, I think we'll see him at like a bottom. I think we'll see him at like a bottom Premier League team, like a bottom 6, maybe like just bottom half Premier League team. I think. Newcastle, I think, would be
that's the
lucky
team
to have it.
Newcastle will be down next season.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, Newcastle's one of those teams where if they went down, you still sort of class them as a Premier League team. They're such a big club. But I don't know. I'd just be surprised to see him go to the Championship. I feel like, I don't know. He was so like, didn't he get nominated for the best manager, FIFA, like best manager of the year, like FIFA award? He must have done. I think.
Oh, he was close with him in Klopp, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, but he's just. I think he was so hotly tipped, and like England talk about. There's not many good English managers, or many, and like he was tipped. So.
What about West Brom after Big Sam?
Does Big Sam keep him up?
I don't know. West Brom is such a weird club. They're just the epitome of a yo-yo club. Which I don't know if that would entice him.
Same as Norwich. The same as Norwich, yo-yo club.
Bounce up and down all the fucking
would
time.
That entice him?
There's no point in Norwich are going to come up this season. No point. They'll be back down next season.
Yeah.
No point in them coming
up. If not, they'll survive a season, come about fucking 16th, and then go back down next season again.
And you know West Brom will be up. Will probably get top 6 next season.
Because teams like that, I don't think they have the power or the money behind them to recruit to be a mid-level Premier League team. They're always going to be on that cusp.
Yeah, they just don't spend the money, do they?
No.
They just don't.
I mean, Norwich have some quality players. I know we're going off tangent here, but like Timo Pukki is not a Championship player in my eyes. He's a bottom Premier League player, I think. And Todd Cantwell, they've got these players who play really well for him, but it just seems like it's a bit of a waste because it's like these weird purgatory clubs which are just top of Championship, bottom Premier League. They're just there constantly. But I could see him at West Brom. I honestly could. Even if they get relegated, I could see him going there after Big Sam. Because it might be another Sheffield for him where he can start lower down and try and get that success of going up.
I don't think he will because they're a bit too high. I'd love to see him at like a club like Palace.
That's a good shout.
Roy's getting on a bit. He's going to have to step down.
Palace have got a bit of money. Yeah, he's boring, man, isn't he?
He's like 70 odd. Do you mean? Fair play to him. He's still working, but time to retire, isn't it?
Good on him, man. He's still getting grafted, like.
Fucking hell, yeah.
I don't think he will get a job like that, mate.
He's waiting for his pension to kick in.
He's got his pension, the bastard. He's probably getting both in, like.
Palace might be a bit too early, but that'll be nice to see. Maybe the next.
Yeah, that is a good team.
I think Palace do need a good manager. I think.
Yeah, good shout. Palace.
Well.
I think Palace is a good shout. Bournemouth is potential because I think Woodgate's only been put on a contract to the end of the season, which is basically if they go up, probably he'll get the job. If not, then they'll be looking to employ again. Celtic's a weird one because Celtic's like almost a good stopgap. Rodgers has gone there and got Europa League there and did really well, and then he got the job at Leicester. So I feel like if Wilder wants to sort of just keep his stock high until a Premier League club wants to go for him, if he's not asked about doing a Championship club or relegation battle, Celtic would make the most sense.
What about Leeds after Bielsa?
Stepped down this season.
So there's word that he might leave.
Yeah, I think all these clubs is the standard of the Wilder. He should be allowed to manage that. Whether he'll get it is no question, but mid-table to relegation.
Good teams for him.
I can see him at any team like that. Leeds, Wolves. They're all potential teams that he could go to. I mean, because
he can't go Wolves. I don't think he speaks Portuguese.
It wouldn't suit him at all. Yeah, I think Nuno is embedded there, isn't he, in Wolves?
Nah, I think
not coming to an end as well. I don't know how true that is, but I can't remember what team it was. But there's speculation that he was going to go somewhere else.
Who?
I reckon they'll have a good season next season. I reckon they'll get a couple of transfers and they'll have a decent one. Maybe definitely top 8. Definitely top 8 from next season.
Southampton, he's been rated highly in that, but the drop off they've done is questionable.
It's weird. This part of the ways is one of the ones I kind of feel sorry for Wilder in a way. Unless if it was his decision, then I completely get it. But it's just one of those ones that's like feels a bit harsh. If it wasn't,
it's one of those ones where I want Sheffield to be like shit now. Like, I want them to go down again because I feel like they got back-to-back relegations in 2 seasons, and then they got 7th, and now like you're Sheffield United. You're not.
You want them to play Bolton. That's what you want.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you want them playing against Newport County like on the weekend?
Bolton have gone 11 games unbeaten, so we're doing well.
Unbelievable scenes.
Down the Rolling Stone level.
Yeah, I mean, it is a weird one. I really didn't expect it to happen at this time. When I heard it on Talk Sport, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, "That's really odd." But yeah, you never know. They could do a Sunderland and go down twice in a row, like dive bomb again.
And
Oh,
then
mate,
get
they're on their way back up, aren't they?
Yeah, and a documentary. Yeah,
Still haven't seen that documentary.
it's actually really good. It's a good watch. That is.
But like they got a new owner, haven't they? Sunderland now. You never know. Billionaire child owner now. I say child. He's only like in his early 20s, but.
Speaking of documentaries, another again. Sorry, off on a tangent. That Juventus Porto game, which was a phenomenal game, by the way. Juventus are having their All or Nothing filmed right now, so that game is going to be in it.
Class.
Which I'm very stoked to watch because the All or Nothings are brilliant. I watched the City one and Juventus have got their own. Yeah, the
Spurs.
Tottenham one was good. The Spurs one was like a comedy show, man. I loved it.
It was a fucking Jose Mourinho show. That's why.
Says you must have fucking loved that documentary.
I haven't watched it.
I'm the fucking
haven't
wank
watched
on the
it?
weekend.
No,
That's a
I
lie.
haven't. I don't have Prime.
Oh my god.
Expensive to be good.
That one bit in there where he's watching
£8
TV, just goes up. He's like,
No, I joke.
"Fuck off."
£8.
It's £8 a month. That's all you type
the-
fucking
pack the
cunt. Go on, go get it.
Pack the
That's like-
football betting in. And
That's like 2 meal deals and a lottery ticket.
You fuck! I saw you put a tenner on a
Yeah,
bet
you put
yesterday.
10
You
on
daft
bet on
cunt,
the
like-
jacket yesterday.
Mum, it's not true. I don't bet. All right, then, lads. I think we did relatively well there, talking about teams that aren't just Liverpool, Man United.
Spurs.
So good job. And yeah, so if you, I'm sorry, I fucked that so bad. I fucked that so bad.
Why are you getting nerves from me?
Don't get
You're
nervous.
right. You look a bit red. You look a bit
I just need
peaky,
a-
like. You're right.
It's delighting.
I had a vodka. I did chill me out, like. Fucking smash that down.
All right, lads. I think we've done pretty well there. Talked about, didn't talk about Liverpool, Man United too much. And yeah, so basically, the moral of the podcast is, Brighton have got a load of good players. And on that note, I'll see you all very soon. You've listened to the Top 4 podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure you share the podcast. Tag us on the socials at the Top 4 podcast. And it's 4 with a number 4. And have a great week. And I'll see you soon.
Ta-ra, boys.
Right.